You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, let's talk about Cathy Engelbert. We got a couple of snippets from the State of Saving My Ass address last night that she put on prior to a WNBA Finals. You can bet your ass I did not watch, nor am I going to watch. And my biggest regret right now involving the finals is I didn't let that poll go another 12 hours. That I just really wonder how bad that poll. It was 96% of sports fans that said, nah, we ain't watching that finals. You can forget that. So, Cathy Engelbert addressed the Nafisi Collier pipe bomb that she dropped a couple of days ago, including the Caitlin Clark comments. She also comes out and decides that she's going to hide behind her family and her kids, trying not to take any shrapnel. Sorry, you don't get to do that. Let's start right here first, because Ben Daniel made a comment about the fact that he believes Adam Silver is going to end up taking over the WNBA. I tend to agree with that, at least on maybe an interim basis. The other guy that I would look for would be this guy right here, Mark A. Tatum, Deputy Commissioner and Chief Operating Officer of the NBA. All right? So this guy's basically sort of like Adam Silver in training. And it would make sense. Hey, I'm going to cut my teeth in the WNBA before I take over the NBA. Now, I will say this. I don't know that either one of these guys have time for it. That's the other thing. So, I didn't bring up a whole leadership hierarchy chart here, but I would guess guys underneath these two guys are girls, I guess. Underneath these two guys, did he just say girls? Yeah, we don't get offended on this channel, so sorry. Did you want me to say chicks? Oh, I know that rubs people the wrong way. Anyway, I'll let you know if I ever care. Are one of the people underneath these two guys, right? That will take over that league. So, let's get to Cathy Engelbert. We will also, Rachel DeMetta had Dave Portnoy, the owner of Barstool Sports, on her show, her podcast. Shout out. Whatever it is, it was excellent. Go watch the whole thing. But he talks about Unrivaled and how he would handle Unrivaled, and the fact that he's saying what many of us have said, it's a conflict of interest and it should not exist. And I think Unrivaled has a chance of causing a WNBA lockout, which is a major, major issue going forward, because I don't know that the players going to agree, and I don't know that the WNBA owners should agree. If I owned the WNBA, if I had a team, you would not play for Unrivaled, and it would be in the CBA, and it would be in the player contract as well. It's a competitor's league. Don't care about what time of the year it plays. And you're not risking injury. You're my investment. I don't need you out there running around in some other league, in the United States at least. Personally, I ban them playing everywhere. And trust me, we just saw with the Fever, there's plenty of players that were not on WNBA rosters that are plenty capable of playing in this league that'd be happy to replace all the players that don't want to play and don't want to make that. Oh, you are all going to Unrivaled. Awesome. Well, guess what? Caitlin Clark's not going over there. Asia Wilson's not going over there. And it looks like Angel Reese is not going over there. So we'll take those three and a bunch of hardship players and go out and grow this league going forward. It might eliminate a lot of attitude problems too. Not a couple of the biggest offenders, but you get the point.
She wouldn't make anything? And do you actually feel that way, that without this platform, players like Caitlin Clark wouldn't be making what they do off the court?
Yeah, obviously, I did not make those comments. Caitlin has been a transformational player in this league. She's been a great representative of the game. She's brought in tens of millions of new fans to the game, proud of what she's put on the court. Unfortunately, the injuries held her back from a full season this year. But again, I'm not going to get into every point, counterpoint. It's not productive here. We're here to celebrate the WNBA Finals. I think what Indiana just did was amazing with all the injuries they had and the everything they faced this year, bringing that to a Game 5 in overtime. But yeah, as I said, there's a lot of inaccuracies reported out there, and I certainly did not say that.
I don't believe her. All right, because if you look at her statement, she's like, they just weren't interpreted quite the way I thought they would be. She never out and out in that statement come out and denied anything. I mean, number one, you would call a press conference within an hour. A responsible commissioner should have called her press conference within an hour of Nafisi Collier's comments and categorically denied any of this was said, blah, blah, blah. And then she should have said, I believe Nafisi Collier's stature as a co-founding member of Unrivaled has led in part to some of these comments, whatever. But she didn't do that. And we're days later now. And I haven't seen a player say a good word about Cathy Engelbert. She's toast.
There's a lot of inaccuracy out there through social media and all this reporting. And so I think what's most helpful is to focus on, I have been in touch with Nafisa. We've exchanged texts. We're talking next week. So I think, obviously, a lot of reporting, a lot of inaccuracy about what I said or what I didn't say. And I will tell you, I highly respect the players. There's a lot of emotion and passion going on right now because we're in collective bargaining. We're in the WNBA Finals. And so I'll leave it there. I mean, I'm just obviously disheartened. I'm a human too. I have a family. I have 2 kids who are devastated by these comments. And so all I'll say is just, it's obviously been a tough week. And I just think there's a lot of inaccuracy.
You know one thing, the woke always devours the woke. It never fails. It never fails. So, Sophie Cunningham on Cathy Engelbert and Cathy Engelbert's opinions, her influence.
And at the end of the day, she's worried about her. In all of her statements, it's all like, well, I got us here and I should. And Cathy, no one cares. Literally, no one cares. Like how you're sitting right there, that's how we feel every time she speaks. Every time she speaks, us as players, that's how we feel.
Okay, so they're out. They're dismissive of the commissioner now. I'm shocked she hadn't been removed already. I'm shocked. Because you got CBA negotiations coming up. If I'm Adam Silver, she'd been gone. She'd have been gone before the end of day the other day. The day that Collier made the comments. But there's a major conflict of interest with Collier and Breanna Stewart too in Unrivaled. And if I'm Adam Silver, I'm being like, okay, I'm getting rid of Cathy Engelbert, but you are removing Collier and Stewart from the WNBA PA. And I'm non-negotiable on that. They are co-founders of a competitive league to ours. We don't want them involved. In CBA negotiations, we do not feel like in good faith that we will have good faith negotiations because they've got ulterior motives tied to a dollar sign in another league. They would not be involved. Neither one of them. Dave Portnoy saying what all of us really think.
This year is obviously huge for them with the CBA negotiations. And what we've heard from it, and some players have kind of leaked some information, is that one of the biggest sticking points is that the W doesn't want their players playing in Unrivaled.
So if I was the commissioner league, if I was Cathy, I would do whatever I could to get Unrivaled out. I would not want this summer league of sorts where your best players are doing this 3-on-3. I would get that into my CBA, but I would pay for it. Like, I'd be like, listen, we have an opportunity here to build an unbelievable women's league that is very profitable, can make a ton of money, and you guys shouldn't have to worry about playing in this league. But I don't, if you look at the NBA, does Adam Silver want his best players going and playing in some other league and potentially
They're not
getting
allowed.
hurt? Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's fair. Like, I wouldn't want that either, but you got to pay him.
Okay. So he's saying essentially you got to buy out Unrivaled. Yeah, they shouldn't exist, but you're going to have to buy it out because you've got a bunch of investors involved on the other side. And there's powerful investors too. All right. TNT Sports is Warner Brothers. All right. Back in Unrivaled. So, and then there's a lot. I mean, I think a bunch of NFL people are involved. Just a shit ton of businesses are involved in backing, investing in Unrivaled. Somebody's got to pay that money back, And this may be the Unrivaled. Think about this. For everybody that calls this not a conflict of interest, Unrivaled may cause a WNBA lockout. Think about that. May prevent, and guess what league that benefits? Unrivaled. So it's a 2-for-1. They can, all these players will be like, well, we're not agreeing to not playing in another league. And then when this league doesn't come back, they all go play in Unrivaled. This is why you can't have Collier and Stewart involved any longer. Plain and simple. We've been trying to say that. Wow. Unbelievable. There's such a, I said this in a post earlier because somebody with Umake on ESPN was talking about the CBA, yada, yada, yada. And I said, she shouldn't even be speaking on this as a member of the media because her sister is the WNBA PA president. There's an incestuous conflict of interest there. And it's like nobody recognizes this stuff. Nobody seems to care about actual things that in real business you absolutely give a shit about and don't allow. Some's been saying for years the WNBA is not a real business. Well, it's shit like that. That is why people say that. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.